Welcome to World's Finest, the weekly DC Comics review. As always, I am Phil Parrish, and joining me is...
Hey guys, it's Lois.
Hear that enthusiasm in her voice, everyone?
This is a brutal week. Like, I've been trying to be all positive and happy and going Rebirth's right around the corner. But man, this week was brutal.
It's going to be a long, 2 more months?
I mean, the issue 50s are out. Let's just cleanse our palate with no comic books for 2 months. How about that?
Oh! Some nice reprints.
Exactly. Some foil covers.
Oh, man.
So hopefully you feel better about this week than I do, is what I'm saying.
There was some good. There was some not so good. Should we start with good or not so good?
You know what? Let's just take it back and forth. Good, bad, good, bad. And hopefully we'll end on something good.
Okay. Well, then, where do you want to start? I don't want to offend you.
No. Go ahead. You can be the decider of what was good and what was bad. And then I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
I don't know. I don't know. Everything had its share of, good and bad, though. I don't know. You want to do Green Arrow 50?
Sure. So that happened.
Yeah, it's just did it seem like, I don't know, they kind of crowbarred Deathstroke in there? Let's okay, it's 50, let's get Deathstroke in there. Because I remember seeing the slits for this, I'm like, wait a minute, Deathstroke hasn't been in the story at all. Where the hell are they getting Deathstroke from?
They were like, well, since the TV show can't do it, and plus the Italian novel just came out with the Deathstroke backstory, yay, corporate! Corporate plans coming together to piss the fans off.
And, I mean, are they preparing us for Rebirth? They have him in the beard already, or is he supposed to look more, wolfish?
I hope that goes away.
This
is a title that needs to be a straight up hardcore reboot, because after they did that fantastic job with the Lemire run and, Papa Queen and all these things, and then they do the whole, hey, let's add Felicity and Diggle to it, and the title never recovered from that decision.
Well, it's they pick a direction, and then, 4 months later, they do a complete 180, and they keep doing that every arc.
Yeah, because you just couldn't top what Lemire did, so it was just like...
Yeah, I just have a feeling this is one of the ones that's going to get a complete reboot,
Yes.
Wipe it all away.
Please do. Let's start from the beginning. No, matter of fact, let's go way, way back and pretend like year one did.
Take it back to what? The Kevin Smith run?
There you go. That's where we start.
Or, I mean, they really wouldn't put butts in seats. How about we get Rebirth and then Green Arrow 1? Let's get some Grell in here.
Jordan. Let's get some hard traveling heroes back into action. Let's make some statements.
There you go.
But yeah, Benjamin did what he could do. And, I don't know why we're doing these creative choices. And I was like, Miracle Man? I don't know if you guys remember this, but Miracle Man was supposed to, Miracle Man and Our Man were, in talks of being spun off from Green Arrow when they couldn't decide if it was going to be the Flash or what they wanted to do and all these things. And I was just like, wow, they really are, I don't even know what's going on with them anymore. It was just a mess. I was like, Miracle Man of all the people. And I need Tarantula to go. Goodbye.
She wasn't even in this, was she?
Wasn't she, or am I thinking the last issue?
Oh, did someone get the last issue already?
No, I mean the issue before this.
I'm thinking, yeah, I don't think, let me double check. Yeah, I don't think Tarantula was in here. It was, what's her face? His sister and,
Ew.
The computer guy, yeah.
Whoever that chick was, they could have kept it to themselves. It's just a mess. I don't know what they're doing. Deathstroke didn't save it for me. I was I was happy for Deathstroke, and then I was just like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay. Might as well have Midnighter at that point.
Might have been better.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why are they shoving Deathstroke in everybody's face?
Because now everyone knows his name,
Thank you, Arrow, and thank you for killing him, not allowing him to come back on Arrow.
Yeah. Do you think maybe we're gonna get a surprise Deathstroke appearance in Suicide Squad?
Probably. Yeah, we are actually.
Oh,
it's not so much of a surprise anymore.
They confirmed that?
I'm pretty sure they did. Well, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. Anything can be in the DC world. You know, they like to backpedal and humana.
I was gonna say, even if he's not in it, I'm sure they'll drop his name.
Yeah, definitely. And what did you think? I mean, did you think this was okay?
I mean, it was all right, but like I said, it kind of took me out of the story a little bit. I mean, I liked the character of Deathstroke, but it's like it just seemed like it crowbarred it in there. It's like, oh, in issue 50, we need something big.
Yeah, but like this is the whole thing. This is issue 50, and it just didn't feel like a big enough bang.
No, because he wasn't even like more towards the end even, because I was just like, okay, where's Deathstroke? Where's Deathstroke?
I mean, that was the only reason why we had the higher page count, to keep making people wait on Deathstroke.
Yeah.
It's a mess. DC, dear DC, you're a mess, and I'm going to need you to get your stuff together. Yeah. I mean, it was average. If this hadn't been an issue 50 and had so many pages just for the sake of justifying the $5 price tag,
yeah,
it would have been okay. But this was just drug out way too long.
Yeah, I'll give it a generous 3.5.
Yeah, my flat 3.0 is very generous at this point. They had something so great with Green Arrow after like up to issue 36. I'll even go ahead and say 38, 39. And then it just, from there on, it was a free fall. And it's just such a shame. Next.
All right, so what was good this week?
I thought Black Canary was pretty good.
Black Canary was good, but I'm like, wait a minute, we're doing a flashback issue already. It's issue 9. There's only 2 months left, and we're gonna do a flashback issue.
Better than focusing on that band,
I guess. But it's just like, okay, so I guess we're spinning our wheels till the end here. Or?
Yeah, we're definitely spinning our wheels, but it's okay. I guess I'm one of the few people that like exposition and things like that. I think that's what the post New 52 world has really been missing. We've been saying this, like the history and the exposition, and I just want to know where this character's coming from, and they finally gave it to me. I guess is why I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it. It was like I said, it was a good story. I was like, really? We're gonna flash back already?
At least it was action and not just sitting around talking.
Thank goodness.
It wasn't like Alfred drinking tea, reminiscing about all the bad things he did to Bruce. Oh, wait.
It's Black Canary kicking guys and wearing booty shorts.
Ah, you gotta love the booty shorts. Still not as sexual as Harley Quinn.
Nope.
Oh, it's really funny how Starfire can be naked and still not as sexual as Harley Quinn. It's never gonna be over with.
Oh, jeez.
Anywho, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I liked it. 3.5 for me.
I bumped it up. Gave it a 4.
Wow, you're in a really good mood.
Well, I'm graded on a curve too.
Oh, like a massive curve, must be. He's like, oh, 1 more week until Batman versus Superman.
That's right.
All hell breaks loose. Everything on the DC TV will be like every DC TV show will be on. It's gonna be crazy.
What, next week? Next week's Flash and Arrow, and then I think the week after, all 3 of them are back. Well, everything.
We have Gotham, and then we'll have Lucifer, and I think it's like the first time it's happening. Anyway, where to next? Are you still reading Dr. Fate?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Did you read it this month?
Yes, I did. Dr. Fate number 10. It's I keep holding out hope, but it's just like, did you read it?
No. I saw the cover and I wanted to, then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep my $2.99.
They keep going, like, he's finally gonna learn his stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I need help. How do I do this?
Dude, when Zatanna showed up on Swamp Thing number 3, I was just like, so is she gonna show up in Dr. Fate now or nah? Like, that's what I've been waiting on this whole time.
That's what we need. I mean, it's just, Dr. Fate in a hoodie and
super casual Mr. Fate.
Exactly. And then it's like, okay, it's like 2 months till rebirth. It's like, do something already, No,
don't do something. Just let it be, and let's get back to our old school Dr. Fate. That's what I say. Poor thing, though. It was a nice try to be relatable to the young adults.
And then I'm confused because in Earth 2 there's a doctor. I think what was it last week we had Earth 2? There was a Dr. Fate, and I think he has the same name as this one. And it's like, okay, is this the same guy or?
Continuity doesn't matter. Grab a hammer and smash it to hell.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think because it's the same name as the Earth 2 guy. But I swear in a previous issue of Constantine he was saying about the kid in the helmet, and that's Earth 1, and I'm confused.
We need a map. We need a new map. After Convergence, we never got a new map.
I think they're just waiting. They're burning them now, and then Rebirth, they're just printing new maps.
Yeah, I don't even think we're gonna get that. I think they're gonna forget about that.
It
is what we tell you it is. Now shut up and give me your money, nerd. I really do feel like that's what DC's motto is at this point. Poor Dr. Fate, though. It was an interesting concept. I like that they were trying to get, they were kind of trying to give it that Batgirl vibe.
Yeah, I just wish they would move forward with it. It just seems like I don't think there's been much growth in the character since the first issue. And we're at issue 10, and I mean, he hasn't done anything.
But always remember, it could have been worse. It could have been Doom. The Doomsday guy?
Yeah.
They canceled that. I was so happy.
That went away quickly and quietly.
Very quietly. Where to next?
I gave Dr. Fate a generous 3, but all right, I have to get this off my conscience. I bought Superman 50.
I did too.
And
I regret it. I don't know what I was expecting. It was just like, shame on you for wasting $5, Lilith.
And did I get the wrong issue number, or did I hear a rumor that wasn't true? I thought he was supposed to meet the real Superman.
I guess we heard a rumor that wasn't true. What he came to was a pre-Flashpoint Kyle, which is not the same thing.
Yeah, but I swear I saw something. I would have sworn I saw something official that says he was going to meet the real Superman, and I was just like, what?
Maybe they put that rumor out there so people would actually buy it.
Maybe.
I would not put it past these people at this point. This is the make or break it point. We were really excited about kind of sort of excited as one could get about this Superman. And I was just like, okay, so we're still continuing this. I think that they maybe blew their load in the previous one to make sure that people pick this one up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and I'm guessing we're just Clark's going to be his identity's going to be public until Rebirth wipes it all away.
Was this supposed to be the Three Ghosts episode of Arrow? Was this their Charles Dickens shout out? I was just like, haven't we done this before?
Yeah, I think so. And it's just like, okay, he got his powers back. Vandal's sort of defeated. Oh, everything's back. Everything's all hunky dory. Well, no. Yeah. The whole world knows who you are. You're still a D-bag. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few problems to clear up here, but I don't know.
I think that they're just waiting for Rebirth to wipe the floor.
Yeah, this is another one that needs a clean slate.
Oh, I'm sure it's getting it. I would bet money.
I'm talking burn it to the ground, started Smallville reboot.
Oh.
I would go for some Superboy at this point, and I'm not talking about Connor Kent either.
Yeah, they said it's not a Rebirth isn't a complete reboot. It needs to be.
Some characters really do, and this is one, unfortunately. Batman can always be salvaged, but they really went out of their way to destroy Superman, and I just don't understand it.
I think that is, that's one of the major flaws of New 52 is they tried to completely reboot characters, but they didn't reboot Batman. And
if you don't reboot Batman, then you can't really technically reboot Superman or Wonder Woman, because then it gets weird because they have a history.
Yeah, it's reboot everything. If you're gonna do it, pull the trigger, do everything.
Yeah.
Do I dare ask what you gave Superman 50?
It was a 2.5. I mean, no. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead because I will say what it lacked in storytelling and pacing and all these things. I thought that the artwork was phenomenal. The artwork really saved it for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3. But know that it was just the artwork and not the story. I was just so underwhelmed.
Wow, I gave it a 2.5.
I'll be nice. I really you guys don't even
Yeah.
understand. Like, I really love Superman, and I really want to see a return to form. I hate loving Batman this much, only because Superman sucks so bad. Like, it used to be a tie. Like, you could ask me on a different day, and I would say it. Without a doubt, it's Batman, hands down, has been for a really long time. I just want Superman back to form.
And I was just thinking about this the other day. It's like, does it seem like in the more, well, at least since New 52, it's just, remember when Superman actually had a brain, and it just seems they've made him a dummy.
Yeah. Clark used to be smart.
He's not as heroic. He's not as smart. It's like,
and honestly, is that a commentary on the millennial youth? Because he's supposed to be like 25, 26, 27, something like that. Is that why he is the way he is?
I'm thinking they de-aged him.
Which is an insult. Like I don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. Oh, so yeah, I think they're going for the not as experienced thing, but it's just like, yeah, it doesn't come off.
Oh, what are we gonna do?
Rebirth.
Man, I'm telling you, this has been a really rocky 6-7 years for DC.
Well, yeah, since New 52.
Honestly, before that, I think honestly their problem started in 2007.
Yeah, but I mean, at least before New 52, you had the rich history and.
No, 2009 is when it got really weird, where they were waffling about whether they wanted to do the whole thing, and that's where they're really making their money with the animated universe and those toys and things. Things got really weird and rocky, and then it finally spilled over into the comic books.
Well,
the only thing that's keeping them afloat right now is the TV universe, and presumably the movie universe is going to do good numbers for them because, Batman versus Superman is out, and, pre-sales tickets or whatever, sales are doing really good, but I wouldn't count on that.
Well, I heard another podcast. They were saying, I don't know where they got their numbers from, but Batman vs. Superman opening weekend domestically is I don't know, they're projecting 140 million opening or something. And it's Deadpool made 150, so that's not, if that's true, if that works out that way, that's not good.
Yeah, it's going to have to make all its money in the opening because I think it's going to be very polarizing. And that word of mouth, nowadays, with the way the economy is, oh man, I mean, it's going to be like a Fantastic Four thing. If you don't see it the day it opens and somebody tells you it's garbage, people are going to stay away.
I think if it doesn't make 200 million its opening weekend, they're going to call it a failure.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. Even though it won't be, it'll make so much more money in the foreign market. I think though.
Yeah, well, me and Charlie were talking on last week's, I think it was last week's Super Connectivity. It's yeah, but they're going to make their money back, in
regardless.
Well, yeah, with all the merchandising and.
I don't know. I heard Will Smith pulled a Tom Cruise with that merchandising thing though. So I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, back to these damn comic books. Oh, I did read one Superman book that was really good, and a lot of people agreed with me.
Which one?
American Alien.
That's what I thought.
Superman was average, the number 2, but I thought Superman American Alien was really good, but it's this social commentary thing that's not everybody's cup of tea, so I mean, I wouldn't highly recommend it, but I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That's all that I'll say about it. It's like a 4 for me. On that.
Okay. Which issue was it?
Number 5.
Okay.
Yeah. The Comet of Superman, it really let me down. I thought it was going to be way more epic than what it's turning out to.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't think I could read this month to month. I got to wait for the trade.
Any new thing, wait for the trade. That's been my general consensus, but I'm so impatient. That's my downfall, is my impatience. I need to work on that. I heard Martian Manhunter got a really... all the reviews I saw for that was good. Did you read that?
No, I actually didn't pick it up this time.
You have failed this podcast!
That's meanwhile, when I was picking it up, you're like, oh, I can't believe you picked that up.
Why are you still picking that up? Did Aquaman show up again for no reason? Oh man, the one time I heard nothing but good reviews. He's like, nah, I didn't spend that $2.99. I bought Luca a coloring book, Lilith. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I don't know. It just they got to me with that whole. I don't know. They New 52'd him. It's like, I don't know if he was even a family man now. It's like, oh, he was just a genetically engineered to be a Martian weapon. It's just like, I'm enjoying Martian Manhunter way more on Supergirl than I was in the book.
Dude, live Action Martian Manhunter, even on Smallville, was great.
Oh, yeah, but I mean...
Sympathetic character. Used to be, anyway. Oh, anyway, what else did you read?
Well, I know you got Batman and Robin Eternal 24.
2 more issues to go. No, like, I'm really pumped for the ending of this, though. Like, that's why I said it like that.
They'll mess it up, DC.
I don't think this particular team that they put together will mess it up. I think we'll be pleasantly surprised.
Well, I must say the art this week was a vast improvement over to like the last 2 weeks.
I could see that.
Everyone looks like realistic and like proportioned correctly. No more steroid Robins.
I thought that all the action scenes were done really, really well. Popped right off the page for me. I love the artwork in that.
Oh, yeah.
But the best thing about this issue was action, definitely.
Oh, yeah. It's the final battle.
It's like all the Robins were having a penis measuring contest.
We all know who wins that.
We do.
The man called Dick. Grayson.
Oh, this was some great stuff, though. I'm excited for the end of this one. It's not losing steam.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed this one this week. What did you give it?
I gave it a 4.
Okay. I give it a 4.5. I think this is my pick of the week.
Nice. I could understand that.
We got action.
Good, tight, fast pacing. Yeah. Like, all right, we're almost at the end. Everybody go full throttle. It's like the last race in a Fast and Furious movie, basically.
Which one? They never end.
Exactly, and they're making another one, which I'm not happy about.
Oh, I gave up on that after, 3, 4...
Tokyo Drift had me questioning my sanity, and then I was just like, oh, Paul Walker's back. Vin Diesel's back. Okay, we can do this now.
Yeah.
Anywho, what else is left?
I'm sure you didn't read Robin, Son of Batman, correct?
I actually did, just to see what we're working with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like kind of surprised about the storyline that they're doing with the clan champion and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I found that interesting.
Oh, did the last page intrigue you?
No, because I have a heart of stone.
They're going in the Gorilla City.
That is interesting. I'm just like, do I smell a crossover with Bart Allen?
I can't wait for Damien to tell off Grodd.
What if they actually end up bonding though?
No, I don't think so. I think he's gonna try to
bratty little bastards.
He's gonna hit him with some batarangs and be like, "Out of my way, stinky
banana
monkey."
rangs? Did you mean?
Oh, somebody's been recording with Kelly recently.
You can always tell, right?
Yeah.
And what's bad is that we recorded on like Wednesday. And it's Friday and it's still in my system.
It doesn't go away till you two go on hiatus or something.
So true. Anyway, yeah, this was interesting. I like what they're doing with Damien finally. They're giving him something to actually work with. But who knows what's gonna happen. And why is this a $4 book, by the way?
I don't know.
Like, there's no rhyme and reason to their pricing thing. Yes, I know, cash grab, but honestly, I'm like, why is some of the really, really good books like Omega Man $2.99, and then like I don't really ever see a lot of people talking about Robin, Son of Batman, so that's why I'm just always like.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the sales numbers. Is it just like the more popular books that sell more? Do they just charge it because they can?
Well, basically, they charge it because they can, and I think that because Omega Man was like that whole, pulling from other stuff, and they weren't sure how it was going to sell. They said $2.99, but then you have a Robin book, which is a Bat book, so you can charge more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess that's pretty much how it goes.
Plus, they need to get that extra $1 before Rebirth.
So serious, they probably did. I'm I'm still curious to see how this all shakes out. I mean, we got 2 more months. How do you think they're gonna end this?
This whole universe before they rebirth it?
Yeah.
Well, knowing them is probably be abrupt and leave us hanging and never come back.
Lackluster and unsatisfactory.
Exactly.
Oh. I hope they put him back with Bruce, though. That's all I really care about.
Oh, yeah. I bet you they will.
That's why I'm kind of picking up these last books to see if they're going to carry any of the good progress they've made with him over into, a new Batman and Robin book.
Yeah, I bet he might, maybe not before Rebirth, but I bet you as soon as Rebirth hits, he'll be back with Bruce.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if he retains any of the stuff, the good stuff from his journey, and how that's going to affect their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have one book left.
Okay.
Titans Hunt 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ouch.
I mean, I don't know. It was like obvious plot twist is obvious. Like we've been knowing that since the beginning, though, right? Like this whole thing.
What, that they had to forget? Yeah, I think we kind of assumed that since issue 1. Yeah, that they had probably on purpose had to wipe their memories so something bad wouldn't happen.
That's the only thing that I was just like, it's really inconsistent, but I still enjoy these characters, but I don't know, I feel like this wasn't thought all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, but still a good story. It did waffle and wander and meander a bit, but...
Yeah, well, I think, too, I don't know if they had to do a quick rewrite, because I think this was supposed to go 12 issues, but now we're only getting 2 more issues.
Yeah.
So.
But it's like, history is repeating itself. Imagine that in a DC book.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that's what the whole thing is they had to condense, a 12-issue series into 8, so.
Yeah, I guess I'll give it the benefit of the doubt on that front.
Because that's probably why if you read this as a series as a whole, the pacing's probably going to be off. It's going to be like, all right, slow burn, slow burn, slow burn. Info dump. Yeah.
Gee willikers, Batman. Oh, yeah. I'm so tired of editorial decisions messing up a good story.
Yeah.
With this is a great lineup, and I just feel bad that they've gotten kind of thrown to the wayside, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did with a lot of characters like Superman and up, but I mean, they really messed up the Titans with the whole New 52 thing. At least the classic lineup.
Yeah, I hope they do better for the rebirth.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of my high hopes hung up on all this, and I'm just like, if they don't, I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do if it's not vastly improved. I mean, I'm already reading Archie comics.
I was gonna say something, but I don't want to insult you. I was gonna say switch to Marvel.
I've been checking out some of the new number ones, and even those just feel, I don't know. It's not the I don't know. Maybe comics, they just can't do what they used to do for me. Maybe I'm too old and jaded. Maybe that's what it is.
That's what I feel. I mean, with DC and Marvel, it's just like I think they're trying to be hip and progressive and trying to bring in new audiences, and it's just like maybe I'm an old man, but I want my my classic versions of my characters,
Yeah, I think that's might be what it is that I'm getting old and jaded, and they're not giving me a reason not to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're playing a dangerous game here because I mean, we're hardcore fans and we're getting the feeling like we're getting pushed out. Well, guess what?
Nobody's going to replace us.
Yeah, you're not bringing in enough people to replace us, let alone grow.
I think that's why they're kind of counting on the TV and the movies parts of it.
Yeah, I guess, but it's just like you want to make us happy because the only younger audience you're going to get are like people like us who, people like me who are going to get my kids into it,
Exactly. And if Daddy stops reading,
exactly.
You're like, put that down, Luca. Put it down. You're grounded.
Hey, kids are sponges, If Daddy says this is crap, well, guess who's not going to want to read it? Mm-hmm. The next generation.
So Rebirth is pretty much it for me. I can't go through another reboot. I can't do it.
Yeah.
What'd you end up giving Titans number 6?
Oh, I'll give it a 3.5.
I gave it a 3.25, so we're not that far off.
Yeah. Oh, and what did you give Robin? I gave it another 3.5.
I gave it 3.25, definitely.
Okay.
So is that it?
That's all I have.
Cool beans. I don't even want to talk about the life cycle of life and death, poison ivy or whatever. It was disappointing. So if you enjoyed it, please let me know why you enjoyed it. Maybe I missed something.
So were you saying quality kind of went down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's only the third issue, so it's just like yikes. I mean, it's an interesting concept. I don't know why they have to keep ruining it. They have her as the doctor and everything, and they're not playing... Well, they're playing up the femme fatale because that's what Poison Ivy is about, but not in, like, that weird, creepy way that they do with Harley. So, I don't know. Let's get it together, people. Women are more than sexual objects. Please, DC. That's the one thing in Rebirth I want them to learn. That's, like, pretty much the only lesson next to keeping the history intact.
I just feel like we're Debbie Downers, but at the end of our episode, we're gonna have Charlie's marvelous DC review, and he reviewed Sinestro.
I cannot wait to hear what he had to say about Sinestro, because like I told you guys, I tried reading it, and I'm like, who is this even for? I can't figure it out.
Yeah, he didn't tell me much, but I think Charlie's gonna be more positive than you.
I would be interested. That is interesting. Like, I just can't figure out who Sinestro is for, who wanted this, or why it's still around after all these other really great books have kind of floundered. So, it's an interesting take.
Well, I mean, that's the big game plan since like the 90s. You know, you get a villain or an anti-hero who's like popular enough. It's like, oh, give them their own book.
Well, yeah, but is Sinestro really that popular? I mean, I could see them actually taking Lex Luthor out of the Justice League and him having his own freaking spinoff. I could see the Joker having his own spinoff. But come on, Sinestro.
Yeah, I know. Luthor or the Joker before Sinestro, definitely. It's just like, I think if you're a big Green Lantern fan, you like him as, you know, the antagonist of Hal Jordan or any of the Green Lanterns, but not headlining his own book.
Being a creeper? Like, just...
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's buying it, and we have yet to have an email about who the hell is buying Sinestro. Please,
but I mean,
if you're reading it, let us know. I want to know.
Can it be doing that well? Because I don't think it's coming back after Rebirth.
But it lasted this long, where other things have not. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I just wonder if that's another one of those popularity contests. Because isn't Jeff Johns a huge Green Lantern fan?
That is true. I always forget. Sometimes, for as much as it's about money, there are a lot of fanboy. It's a lot of fanboy culture there. It really is. I would say they're taking a loss on Sinestro. If I had to really like crunch the numbers and look and dig, I don't think it's about a cash grab. I think that is. Yep, I think it's pure fanboy elitism or something like that. But I can't wait to hear what Charlie has to say about it, because he enjoys Starfire, so if he enjoys Sinestro, that's gonna be just like this really interesting dichotomy in his brain.
Charlie finds the positive in a lot of things.
I wish I could be more like Professor Charlie. We should all be more like Professor Charlie. So yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, are we negative? Are we spot on? Please let us know. Email us, worldsfinestpod@gmail.com. On Facebook, we're World's Finest Podcast. Twitter is @worldsfinestpod. And the Instagram account that we share with all new Marvel Roundup is World's Finest Roundup. And like we said, stay tuned. At the end of this, you'll hear Charlie's marvelous review of Sinestro. I don't even know which issue was this week, and I really don't care.
I think it's like 20 or something.
20? Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's been going on for a while.
Oh, jeez. Well, where can people find you, Miss Love?
They can find me on Twitter @LilithHellfire. If you're on Tumblr, it's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. You can also check out lilithhellfire.com. And if you're on Reddit, you can find me on any of the DC TV shows subreddits, or you can just inbox me at, you guessed it, Lilith Hellfire.
She's a brand, people.
I'm trying. I'm desperately trying. Also, if you are in the market for a podcast about DC Nation news, please be sure to check out Channel 52. And if you would like to hear about Flash or Arrow from a feminine perspective, I co-host Flashpoint and Queen Consolidated with the lovely Kelly DiMarzio, who also co-hosts with Phil and Tyler on Before the Bat.
Nice. I also have a Flash and Arrow podcast, Flash Arrow Power Hour. You mentioned Before the Bat. Oh yeah, so me and Lilith also have another podcast, the Newcastle Crew, where we discuss all things John Constantine. Please check that out. And I also podcast about Marvel, everything Marvel, the all new Marvel Roundup and Super Connectivity with the aforementioned Mr. Charlie Esser, who you'll hear in a minute here. But you can talk to me anything Marvel or tell me about your hopes and dreams for a new DC. NightwingPDP at gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at NightwingPDP, where you can find me live tweeting Monday through Thursday when the DC shows are new. Instagram, Periscope, it's all NightwingPDP.
Hello, Mr. Perch.
Hello, Mr. Esser. Professor.
Thank you kindly. I loves me a villain book. And so right off the bat, you already got me at Sinestro. And not for nothing, unlike, say, Suicide Squad, Sinestro's a stone-cold villain. I like this book in the same way I like the new Illuminati book over at Marvel, and the idea that they're villains. They're not trying to be heroes. I mean, granted, in Sinestro's own twisted mind, he is the hero. He's sort of got that Doctor Doom complex of, I will maintain order by fear, and people's lives are better when they're ordered. That fear is better than willpower, basically. Okay, so we're opening it up with the point of view of Sinestro's daughter, whose name is something or other.
Daughter? Who would sleep with that guy?
Hey, he used to be king of Kugaran or Kanagar or
dictator. Yes,
he was the boss. Okay, he was like, and not for nothing, I've always said this, that he's like one of these villains who like, wait, you guys are just now upset with what I'm doing? I've been doing this for like decades on my planet. And now because freaking Hal Jordan shows up and says, hey, this looks a lot like fascism. It's like all the elders of the universe, whatever they're called, the Watchers, the Observers, the Guardians are like, yeah, we don't like that fascism. Not at all. And Sinestro's like, I've been doing this for like ever. Why am I the bad guy? Just because some privileged white guy from Earth shows up and says, hey, this isn't the way you rule the world. It's like, what do you know? You guys have had 5 years without a war recently, so don't tell me how to freaking rule a world, I've maintained peace and order and happiness on my world this whole time. So anyway, that's a little Sinestro backstory as understood by a Marvel guy. But okay, and of course so he's got all these people. Apparently there was some grand war here because there was the Pale Bishop who showed up, who is all anti-emotion, which I'm guessing is like an anti-life thing. Makes sense, works for me. And he incorporated all these people into his Sinestro core, including. At first, he's like, because he's got this Kryptonian there, and at first I'm assuming, that's like Earth 1 or Earth 2 Superboy, the Superboy that was all evil. But no, that's actually apparently Casual Friday Superman on his team. And he makes the point that, I trusted you more than you trusted me, but we defeated the bad guys. Hooray. His guys are over on Quard, and then Mongol shows up, who I know is a big tough guy. He takes out one of the three Yellow Lanterns who have come for him, leaving the other two behind. The Manhunters go after him, but he dispatches them right quick. But he flees, chased by the Manhunters. The other two remaining Yellow Lanterns say, "Yeah, let him go." I've got no interest. We've got a Blue Lantern here, Saint Walker, who I do remember from when I was reading the Color Wars thing. He was pretty cool. I like the Blue Lanterns, how they like increase the power of another lantern. And he's like apparently he had been captured and was getting all Clockwork Oranged. And I can't tell if he's completely like mind warped or if this is just like, no, man, I'm so zen. I dealt with your freaking mind messery, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool from my perspective. You know, this is an interest, as I've always said, like one of the things that I have to say is difficult for me with DC books is they don't have that what happened last time issue page in the front, which not for nothing. I get that that's an extra page of print, but that's 3 extra pages of ads, DC. Can you just not sell 3 pages of ads in your book? Is that what the problem is, that you can't give me a freaking text to say, just so you know, this is the first time picking up your book, here's where we are. So anyway, so Saint Walker, he's talking to this other Yellow Lantern, named Arkillo of Vorn, who is kind of walrusy looking, cross between like a walrus and a saber-toothed tiger, I'd say. You know, because, you know, I guess evolution follows certain patterns. And he's on this world, and him and Saint Walker are like pals, but like Saint Walker was being reprogrammed, and Arkillo was like, I didn't know what to do. There was nothing I could do to stop it. And St. Walker's like, no, dude, it's cool. It's cool. I now understand the association between hope and fear, because, of course, Blue Lanterns are hope, Yellow Lanterns are fear. Anyway, so basically they've defeated the Pale Riders, and everyone's so happy that the Yellow Lanterns were there to save them. And then Sinestro takes all the rings back, and they show that Wonder Woman, Casual Friday Superman, and Black Adam all lose their rings, as does Harley Quinn and Slade and Scarecrow. Basically claims back all the rings, and you get this whole scene where like Superman is like, I have to admit, it felt good having a ring, and you can see Wonder Woman's got like the shakes, and there's some lady here with 2 black swords. I have no idea who she is, but she's apparently like one of the right hands of Sinestro, and she's like, and she says, the slight tremble, the longing in your voice is evidence of the truth, to Wonder Woman, basically saying, you're jonesing for it, man. And Superman says, that woman, I think I might be in. And Wonder Woman says, me too. And he says, you too? I don't think I want to discuss this with you. I'm guessing she's got some kind of Poison Ivy pheromone power, assuming that's not Poison Ivy herself, because who knows? Although, because that was one of the books I was debating, she apparently has a baby, so I can't imagine her being wrapped up in this. And she's keeping her ring, so I'm guessing she's some alien creature person. Anyway, so all the people are like, no, Yellow Lanterns, you can't leave. You're so important to us. We love you. You guys are the best. And so she puts Arkillo to be the Yellow Lantern of Earth, to protect Earth, and lets Saint Walker stay with him as his partner. Meanwhile, Black Adam's like, hey, Sinestro, buddy, pal, friend, you know, it's great that everyone's loving you. Can't imagine what they'd say if they realized that you were the guy that woke up the Pale Riders, or the Pale Bishop, that it was because of you that the Earth got into this whole mess. And Sinestro was like, yeah, but, you know, let's face it, no one's going to tell him that, and all this kind of stuff. And he says to his other friend, who's like this little blue lady who isn't all yellow, which is kind of weird, although I'm guessing she's a part of it. She's, I guess, his like witch consort. Basically says, you know, you're taking a big risk. And she says, no, me and Black Adam have an understanding. And you see that Black Adam was allowed to keep his Yellow Lantern ring. And then they go off, and we get a little repeat from the first scene, which is Sinestro's daughter saying, you know, an army of boogeymen, of monsters, of friends, and I am their leader. And if that wasn't strange enough, we've been accepted, welcomed even, by the people of Earth. Next, fear her power. I gotta tell you, awesome book. Really, I'm giving this 5 yield signs out of 5. Those who don't remember, that's how Sinestro has more than once defeated Green Lantern, and the one time Sinestro had a Green Lantern ring that Green Lantern defeated Sinestro because, of course, the yellow imperfection, yada yada yada. So I'm giving this 5 yield signs out of 5. A really great book. You know what? To heck with it. You know what? All new Marvel Roundup, you got to deal with it. This was my pick of the week. I loved it. There you go. You know, Ant-Man came close and everything else was good. You know what? Ant-Man was real good.
Too late. I'm editing. I'm using it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was my pick of the week. I mean, it really was. I mean, I read this book. I was like, oh, man, Sinestro is so getting picked up next week. You know, right now, my 2 ongoing titles are Starfire and Sinestro. We'll see how long they last. This isn't the first time I've had ongoing DC titles, but they don't last. But we'll see, because, like I said, I'm loving me the story that's been told, and I'll like to see where it goes. But yeah, so yeah, my pick of the week. There you go, Sinestro.
Do we have to break it to Charlie that he only has like 2 more months in these books?
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, you're kidding me! They're canceling Sinestro?
When Rebirth hits in 2 months, yeah, I don't think Sinestro is coming back.
Yeah, but Sinestro, you don't think Sinestro's coming back?
They put out a list
into the Lantern Corps book, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that'll be lame. Thank you, DC, for keeping the lame and losing the strange.
Well, you know something that I've been researching about Sinestro is that the people that read these books, they really never rate it under a 4 stars or whatever. The people that like this book, that's for them. They love it. They enjoy it. They're as enthusiastic as you are about it. And I just for the life of me, I think just because they ruined the Green Lanterns for me, that I just can't wrap my head around Sinestro having his own title.
Well, like I said, you have to understand Sinestro. You know, it's like anytime they do a Doom solo book, Doom solo books are always great. Because Doom isn't dealing with Richards in a Doom solo book. It's just Doom being Doom and saying, and honestly, yes, it's a bit of an Ayn Randian thing of I am the greatest and I will refashion the world in my image. But, you know, not for nothing. Even though I reject Ayn Rand's basic philosophy, there's a reason why that basic philosophy sells. Because that is this idea. We all say, you know, if only I could be God for a day. You know, I mean, I'd like to think that if anyone offered me a ring, I would have the humility to say yes, but it would not be good if I was God for a day. But every so often, we just want to be that. And, you know, and that's why villain books are always so fun, because they are this consequence-free world where someone gets to just let loose. And the idea is that, you know, I'm going to let loose, but I want to do good, you know. I don't want to freaking destroy the world. I just want everybody to listen to me and understand that this is the way you should do things. You know, the problem, of course, always is that, politicians wind up with power, not men of good virtue, men without fear, as the Lantern Corps were. But, you know, when one lantern decides, well, now that I have no fear and I have power and I'm going to do something good to make my world a better place, everybody gets all upset because, you know, old Hal Jordan, you know, big stick up some orifice. Hal Jordan says, hey, I don't think this is the way to do this, you crazy hippie. And, you know, I bet you they had universal health care on whatever his planet was, Corrigan, you know. I bet you that the trains ran on time and everybody actually, generally speaking, was good. But, you know, there's always that guy who doesn't like anything. There's always one town crank, as Maria Hill would say, you know. You got to have a town crank who's always complaining about how good life is, you know. And that was Hal Jordan for Sinestro.
I love that perspective because I feel the same way about Hal Jordan.
It's like, you know, that's the thing. It's like they told him, we want you to bring peace and order to the world, and we give you this. And here's the thing that I always say about anyone who's like, well, Sinestro was a fascist. Like, well, you know what? He was a fascist, but Green Lanterns can't kill. So whatever he was doing, he wasn't killing nobody. Now, granted, as people often say, you'd be surprised what you can survive. You know, and yeah, he was probably imprisoning a lot of people who were causing trouble because people were, he was trying to build a wall to keep the Moloids out and make the Moloids pay for it. I'm waxing between my DC and Marvel rants now, and Grant, that's the thing is like no one wants to live under fascism, but and this is always this thing I've always made this point is like anytime you read Apocalypse, like 1984, there's this whole big thing in 1984 that as evil as Big Brother is, most people didn't care that much that they were living under Big Brother because it's not like things were that much better before Big Brother. I mean, that's the thing is like, like you talk about Stalin, like how evil Stalin was. Stalin makes Hitler look like a piker. But the fact of the matter, it's not like the Tsar was this great guy, It's not like before we had Stalin and Lenin and the various, criminal regimes that the Tsar was making life great for everybody. No, it's like all around everyone. As I always say, it's not a question of are you ruled by the 1%. It's a question about which 1% you want to be ruled by.
So basically, my takeaway from Charlie's philosophy is somebody's got to be the proletariat. I just hope it ain't me.
Well, actually, no. That's the lesson of 1984. That being a pro was actually the place to be. Because if you were a pro, you just lived your life. You got up every day. You went to work. You had your babies. You lived your life. You drank your victory gin, and you didn't complain. The problem was once you got into this other place where all of a sudden, well, is this really right that we live under an authoritarian regime? And then those are the guys that are always causing trouble, throwing bombs and blowing stuff up. And then, because we blew it up, now things will be better. It's like, it wasn't that bad, And are you really going to make it better for me as a person, as an individual? I'm all establishment, man. I'm all, that's why I'm voting for Hillary, man. Establishment today, establishment tomorrow, establishment forever. Just let the flag fly because I want to keep my head down, go to work, come home, let my kids grow up to go to work and come home, People die in revolutions. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, it's so great when Charlie comes by, isn't it, guys? No, I really mean that sincerely. I hope you guys know.
No, I'm sure you do because it's a different perspective, and no one is ever sticking up for the guy who's a cog in the machine, But you know what? The machine is running, and if you start pulling out the cogs, the machine won't run. It's like then you're stuck on the side of the road in the middle of the desert, and it's like, well, the machine won't run because all the cogs want to roll their own thing. It's like, well, you know what? Maybe that's why they were cogs. As a proud cog, maybe we should be proud of being a cog. Maybe we should say, you know what? It's kind of good that I do this one thing. There's an old story I was told as a young person of these people building the cathedral, and the cardinal comes by to see the cathedral being built, and he says to each person, "What are you doing?" And the first guy says, "I'm laying these bricks, and I'm building, I'm laying the bricks." And the other guy says, "Well, what are you doing?" "Well, I'm putting in the stained glass. So we're going to have this beautiful rose window here." And he comes to this one woman who's just rubbing oil into a piece of wood. And he says, "And what are you doing, miss?" And she says, "I'm building a cathedral." Because her thing is this thing, but that's what she's doing. And that's what's going to build this cathedral. Is everybody, you can get so wound up in this idea that I am doing this thing and this is this great thing, but that thing by itself is meaningless unless you're all working together to build a cathedral,
How did we get here from Sinestro?
No, and I have one more question to wind Charlie up. Did you enjoy Sinestro's portrayal in the Green Lantern movie starring Ryan Reynolds?
I have seen about 7 minutes of that, and
5 more than me.
Hey, I'm a Ryan Reynolds fan. I love Ryan Reynolds. I'll watch that guy read the phone book because he is so dang handsome. I actually didn't mind the things I saw of Sinestro. I thought, oh, that's kind of cool how they set him up. Like I said, I think that it's just Ryan Reynolds was not Hal Jordan. He's not a who you needed for. You know who would be the perfect Hal Jordan is John Wayne. You could so see John Wayne as Hal Jordan. You know, if they had done like a 1950s Green Lantern film where Two-Fisted John Wayne is the Green Lantern, that would have been gangbusters. You know, because he can embody that, you know, hardcore, stick up his whatever guy, you know? You know, like I said, if you want to do Ryan Reynolds is Kyle Rayner. You know, he's the smart aleck. You know, he's the guy who throws off the things and rebuilds it the way he thinks it should be, which ironically enough is what Sinestro is too. It just, you know, in their own paradigms, everyone's making their own world.
Just like with a name like Sinestro.
Yeah, well, you know, but that might mean peacemaker in his language, you know? It's like, don't put your Terran prejudices on people's names. Although, you know, I want to say DC does that a lot, although I think that, you know, Marvel certainly has done it in the past, but it seems like sometimes DC's still stuck in that like 1960s mold. Sometimes every time I open up a book and it's like, well, this is Mr. Evilton, you know, it's like, well, Mr. Evilton, how are you today? I'm fine, you know, and Mr. Evilton turned out to be evil. Who saw that coming? Oh, goodness.
And I already gave our social media, so Charlie, tell these DC fans where they can find you.
Hey guys, if you want Sinestro to rule the world again, as I certainly do, if you want Sinestro to come along, if you want to just tell me I'm wrong, because hey, everyone, please tell me how wrong I am. Write to me in that old-fashioned email way at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. And of course, if you ever want to follow me on Twitter as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Wonder Woman on MeTV on Saturdays at 8 o'clock Central. The old Linda Carter Wonder Woman. It's a great show. You should watch it, along with the Incredible Hulk and occasionally Gotham or Legends of Tomorrow if my kids are asleep already. Do so at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle for quality.
Well, DC fans, come back next week. I'm sure Charlie will have another marvelous review for us. Lilith and I will be back, but just after everything you just heard, I think everyone will agree with me. In brightest day and blackest night, let's get Charlie Esser on that ballot as a write-in candidate for president. Good night.